I'm called the Storyteller, and today I want to tell you the story of Oisín and the land of Tír na nÓg. Now, Oisín was a member of the Fianna, a group of warriors who were tasked with protecting Ireland from invasion, and they would wander around the country. On this day, they were hunting deer off the shores of Loch Lane in southwest Ireland, in Kerry, and they saw this figure riding over the lake on a horse. They were like, "What the hell is going on here?" And as the figure got closer and closer, they could see that it was the most beautiful woman they've ever seen. She had long blonde hair, and as she got closer, they could make out her piercing blue eyes. And Oisín, who was the son of Fionn Mac Cumhaill, the leader of the Fianna, he instantly fell in love with her. And when she arrived, he was very happy to hear that the first thing she asked was, "Where is Oisín? I hear is the greatest bard in all of Ireland. I want him to be my husband. I am Niamh of the golden hair, the princess of the land of Tír na nÓg, the land of eternal youth, and I want to bring him back with me." So Oisín puts his hand up. "I am he." And Niamh says, "I know you're him. I've watched you from afar, from another dimension, and I have fallen in love with you. Can I have permission to bring your son back?" she asks Fionn. Fionn is reluctant at first, but he eventually does allow Oisín to go with Niamh. She lifts him onto the horse, which Oisín is a bit surprised by. And they ride over the mountains, over the lake, until they arrive in Raspe Beach, and they go onto the sea. And the first wave is okay, second wave is okay, but then on the ninth wave, this gigantic magical wave appears, which they overcome, and then a storm hits them. And as they're riding on the seawater, they notice visions of palaces and people on horses. They're definitely entering into a different realm here. And eventually things calm down, and they arrive at the shore of Tír na nÓg. The sun is piercing the sky. There's a big army with golden armor on them, and the king right in the middle. The king is, of course, the father of Niamh. And when he puts his feet on Tír na nÓg, Oisín instantly feels happy and joyous. And he turns to Niamh, and he really loves her. They marry. They have 2 sons and a daughter. And Oisín lives out his days just... There's no sickness in Tír na nÓg. Nobody dies. There's no battles. He gets to tell his stories. He gets to hunt. He gets to drink beautiful wine, eat lovely food. But everything is all a bit too perfect for Oisín. He misses the Fianna. He misses his father. He misses the fear of death. He misses the battles. He misses the miserable people who never stop complaining. He misses the bad weather. And he goes to Niamh one day and says, "Niamh, I need to return home to Ireland. I miss it so much. I miss all the bad things about it, funnily enough. I want to return. Can I just return for one occasion?" And Niamh feels sorry for her husband. She says, "Okay, you can bring my horse, Ember, but you have to promise me not to get off Ember, because if you fall off or get off Ember, I will never see you again." Oisín says, "I promise you, I will stay on Ember." So he hops on the horse and he's ready for his adventure back home to Ireland. He jumps on the horse, rides over those waves, gets over the ninth wave, and eventually arrives in Ireland. And he feels that cold rain and that horrible wind, which he absolutely loves. He rides around Ireland. He notices the people are much different. They're much smaller. The old forts are now ruins. The Hill of Tara looks completely different. Everything has changed. And he asks about the Fianna, and people haven't heard about the Fianna. They said they must be long gone, because Niamh actually told them that 3 years in Tír na nÓg are 300 years in Ireland. So that old world is gone, and it's now only told in stories, the Fianna, and people not even sure if the Fianna ever existed. So he decides to return back to Tír na nÓg. He turns Ember around. He says, "Okay, Niamh was right all along. I belong in Tír na nÓg, not in Ireland." On the way back to Tír na nÓg, he comes across 4 men trying to lift this rock, which he thinks is a small rock. So he lifts it up with his hand, helps them out, leans over, but unfortunately the weight of the rock snapped his saddle, and he falls off the saddle. And as he stands up, he notices he's crouched over a bit, and he feels like his body is turning into a 300-year-old man. His skin is getting wrinkled. The 4 men surround him. They think, "Oh my God, this is strange magic that's going on here. So we're going to get the wisest man in all of Ireland." So they run and they bring Saint Patrick, who Oisín is wondering, what is a saint and who is the Saint Patrick guy? He looks like a druid. And Patrick explains who he is, that he brought this thing called Christianity. And he says to Oisín, "You probably should get baptized if you want to go to heaven, because you're on the way out, I'm afraid." And Oisín says, well, why would I want to go to heaven? And Patrick explains, well, it's either heaven or hell. And Oisín asks, well, where is my father? Where are the Fianna? Where are they? Because I will never see my wife Niamh again. She's in Tír na nÓg. But where are the Fianna? And Patrick explains, well, they're probably in hell because they're pagans. And Oisín says, oh, fine, I'll go to hell. Because, you know, my father, he defeated the fire-breathing fairy in Tara at one point, so hell shouldn't be a problem. So Patrick says, okay. Oisín gets to tell him all the stories of the Fianna. Patrick writes it down. Oisín didn't know what writing was, but he was glad to tell the stories. And he immortalized all the stories of the Fianna, which Patrick wrote down according to the story. And then, before he died, he felt really sad, of course, that he would never see Niamh and his family again, and lots of regret about that decision to come back to Ireland, but what can you do? And he passed away, and Patrick buried him. And that's how we have all the stories, according to folklore, through Oisín, passing on the stories to Patrick. So that's the story of Oisín and the land of Tír na nÓg. Now, there are lots of different endings to that story. I give you that one. I thought it was an interesting ending, how Oisín decided to go to hell, which is an interesting choice to make, just so you could see the old Fianna. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the story, and please check out all my other videos. Thank you.